Welcome back to the Road Show. This morning in the Buzz, we started to talk about this a little bit yesterday. Danielle got all fired up, so she's not here today. So Michelle taking the place of Danielle. It's a controversy. I don't know if it's a controversy. Maybe we'll turn it into one. Providence teachers begin voting today on a tentative 3-year contract agreement with the city that would create longer school days for both teachers and students. If approved, the school day would end 5 minutes later this upcoming school year and will add an additional 5 minutes in each of the next 2 years, eventually adding 15 minutes to the school day. The school department hopes a longer school day will improve test scores and learning, but it would also save money. In 2013, the additional classroom time would add a total of 45 hours to the school year. Under the proposed contract, teachers will not be paid for the extra time, saving the city an estimated $12 million. Parents have mixed opinions about the plan.
I think it's going to create havoc at the beginning, but see what happens, because they're learning more and they have more time to learn whatever they need to learn.
I don't see what 15 minutes a day is going to do in school. What can you do in another 15 minutes?
I agree with you. Union members will vote on it in the coming weeks, and if approved, it will head to the Providence City Council for ratification. So, do you think longer school days make sense? Why or why not? Danielle said she liked it. I don't want to make you agree with Danielle, but we'll start with you, Michelle.
I think it depends on how 5 minutes can be used. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot of time to do a lot of things, but I come from a family of teachers, and my mother talks about how every school break that they have, every holiday break, every summer break, it just takes a little bit of time to get back into it. So I think if you can add, some legitimate learning time in those 5 minutes, and I think it's beneficial. How does it save money? That's what I don't get.
I'm confused by that as well. I know it's making the school day longer, but they're not paying them anymore. So it almost seems like a backwards way of, I don't know. You're right. I don't understand that either.
I'm almost wondering, are they now going to cut the number of days that you're going down? Because I could see how that would save the money, because now the schools aren't open for, let's say, I don't know, 2 extra weeks. So now you're not paying for the maintenance of the school, you're not having to pay for the electricity or the cooling or any type of thing like that. But to me, if you are cutting back the days because you're extending the school day, that's like asking teachers, can you work for 2 weeks and never get paid for it?
Listen, there aren't any teachers, well, a lot of good teachers that are leaving the building at 2:30 or 2:45, whatever time school lets out anyway. A lot of them are working until 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening to get their work done, and then more at home. But I think there's a lot of latchkey kids in Providence, a lot of dual income families or working parents, and if these kids can be in a classroom supervised by teachers instead of maybe the alternative, then I think maybe adding time to the school day will benefit the kids as well.
Yeah, but and just playing devil's advocate, yeah, sure, they're staying later, but are they getting more homework, which means they're home less, which means they have less time to do their homework, which means they're perhaps more tired.
Right.
There are after-school activities like sports and, Boy Scouts and on and on it goes that, takes away from your quote-unquote free time. I mean, you can go either way. It says by 2013, the additional classroom time would add a total of 45 hours to the school year. Under this contract, teachers would not be paid for the extra time. So there's how your money's saved, which, I mean, I don't know. It just seems sort of strange.
That's what I need clarified, is how is this actually saving us money? I understand maybe extending the school day, okay, but you're still there. You're extending it, but saving money. I need some clarification on that to really understand if it's going to work or not.
Well, I think kids are in school really long enough, and by the end of the day, most of them are off in La La Land anyway. They're tired because the bus comes through our neighborhood now for the middle school at like 6:30 in the morning. I mean, you're talking about 13-year-old kids.
6:30?
Yeah, it's a long day anyway. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what. This is probably a pretty hot topic, I imagine, Courtney, on the Facebook and the live blog and everything else, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to weed through the comments here. Everyone has different valid reasons as to why they think this could work or not work. So we're going to start, as always, on the live blog on foxprovidence.com. This first one is from Pony Boy, and they said, while they're at it, why don't they rethink the start times? An early start for the younger ones who are up early anyway, and a later start for the older ones who stay up later than they should. And then we have one from Trip. He said, I think longer days is something worth trying and seeing how it flushes out. I don't think 15 minutes is long enough, but it's a start. So we've got a couple of more there if you guys want to jump in and read them, or leave your own comment on the live blog. Here's the poll. Do you think a longer school day will be effective? A, yes, if it saves more money, it makes sense. B, no, extra time won't make a difference. Or C, I'm not sure. We have about 10 comments on our Facebook wall this morning, and Regina said, a longer school day may give more structure to some students who don't have positive or effective before and after school care. Rhonda said, I don't think 15 minutes a day will make much of a difference. She said if they want to increase it to save money, maybe an hour would be better. And then Michelle says it's definitely not a good idea. These students start to get tired between 2 and 2:30, and if they extend the school day, it will only make them more tired and grumpy. So maybe if you are in the Providence City, or if you're a teacher or anything, you want to clarify a little bit for us and jump in on the poll or the live blog, we'll chat with you.